A memorial commemorating both Tavaran wars now occupies the hill. Some consider this famous site in the Idris system to be the location of one of the most important events in all human history. Here, in 2544, an ambitious young officer named Ivar Messer directed dangerously close bombing runs to turn the tide of the battle and arguably the entire First Tavaran War. One can only imagine how history would differ if the Tavaran had won that day and the fanatical Ivar Messer had never risen to power to usher in the darkest days of humanity. While Idris can't shake its association with Ivar Messer, the rich and interesting history of the system has had a significant impact on the Empire in more ways than one. In 2493, Tyrell Dorazio slowly piloted his exploration ship Ikaroa across a sector of Rita. A student at Mentor University, Dorazio and a friend visited this section of space to ingest hallucinogens and stare at Rita 5 as it travelled through a picturesque portion of its orbit. Mid-experience, Dorazio became convinced that his ship's scanner had picked up an anomaly, but his friend assured him that it was just part of the hallucination. The experience stuck with Dorazio. After graduation, the novice explorer returned to that sector and spent weeks scanning it. Eventually, he found a jump point into an undiscovered system and named it Idris after the friend who insisted nothing was there. UNE pathfinders explored Idris to discover one potentially habitable planet and a mineral-rich protoplanet. They quickly claimed the system and rushed to terraform Idris 4. Once habitable, the government declared Idris 4 a recommended growth centre in 2533. Its population swelled and businesses flocked to the system as it became a symbol for humanity's ability to quickly colonise a new system. No one could have predicted that making Idris 4 conducive to human life would also make it a prime target for an alien invasion. In 2541, Dr. Keller Lensch discovered the Elysium system and the new species that called it home, the Tavaran. The UPE attempted to establish diplomatic ties with the Tavaran, but they were more interested in humanity's land than in peace. The Tavaran had not mastered terraforming and were desperate for new planets to inhabit. After discovering that the atmosphere of their worlds was similar to that of human planets, the proud and martial Tavaran concluded that invasion was the answer to their problems. The First Tavaran War ignited, and the UPE Navy was dispatched to defend the Elysium Centauri jump point. Unfortunately for the population of Idris, the Tavaran discovered a jump into the system and mustered a surprise attack in 2542. The Tavaran invasion began with orbital bombardments that devastated population centres and left countless dead. These massive impact craters can still be seen on approach to the planet. While most survivors fled the system, some sought refuge in the mountains and organised resistance groups to provide valuable intelligence and assistance when the UPE finally struck back on the planet. When the First Tavaran War ended in 2546, Ivar Messer had been elected Prime Citizen, a position which eventually transitioned into the role of Imperator. It was a meteoric rise to power. He wielded his immense influence to reshape the government to his liking and help those who aided his ascent, which included the people of Idris. The new UEE government flooded the system with credits to help rebuild cities and resettle inhabitants. To commemorate the system's sacrifice during the First Tavaran War and curry favour with Messer, Aegis Dynamics named a line of capital ships after the system in 2551. And even opened a facility on the planet to manufacture them. Ivar Messer gave a famous speech at the inaugural Idris launch, which hinted at the fascism to come. In this speech, Messer said that never again can we let humanity be made the victim. Let all who would dare become the enemy of our empire tremble as they hear of our victory in Idris and the ship that bears its name. The system's reconstruction was stalled in 2603 with the outbreak of the Second Tavaran War. Committed to preventing Idris from again falling to the Tavaran, the military stationed a massive force in the system. Tavaran warlord Korathal recognised humanity's intent to hold the system at all costs and used it to his advantage. On several occasions, he sent decoy fleets into Idris to draw more UEE forces into the system before launching a surprise attack elsewhere. Only after the Empire defeated the new Tavaran threat could the Idris system truly prosper. The centuries following the Second Tavaran War were not as dynamic, but were no less important to Idris's development. On Idris IV, Aegis Dynamics brought up tracts of cheap land to expand their production facilities, while the significant military presence in the system kept trade lanes safe and secure. Cheap real estate, safe shipping, and lax regulations were a boon to businesses flocking to the system. By the end of the 27th century, the system had evolved into a production powerhouse. However, during the Mesa regime, the system developed a reputation of putting the needs of corporations before that of the general population and earned a poor track record regarding workers' rights. The well-organised strikes of 2808 pushed back on poor working conditions and low pay. It energised a planet-wide movement that pressured the Governor's Council to refine their labour laws. Numerous UEE systems have since adopted similar standards, now universally known as the Idris Amendments. The legislation is considered a significant accomplishment for the system, though its impact on the Empire receives much less attention than its part in the rise of Iva Mesa. Idris 1 resides a mere 0.1 astronomical units away from the system's F-type main sequence star. It lacks an atmosphere, and both its crust and mantle have been blasted away due to its solar proximity, leaving the planet's iron core to solidify. While Idris 1 lacks an atmosphere, the one encompassing Idris 2 makes it completely inhospitable to human life. Planet-side temperatures soar under the thick and volatile cloud cover. When combined with dangerously high atmospheric pressure, this rocky planet is best viewed from afar. Idris 3 is an uninhabitable terrestrial planet mostly covered by an ocean of water mixed with ammonia and other volatile fluids. Countless research probes sent to investigate this high-density mixture have fallen victim to its viscosity. If anything of note resides beneath the soupy seas of Idris 3, it's still waiting to be discovered. Rachel Locke fled into the mountains of Idris 4 following the invasions of the First Tavaran War. Though she had no official military training, she led the resistance movement known as the Greys that terrorised the Tavaran invaders. Following the war, the Governor's Council honoured her leadership and heroism by naming the planet after her. As the system's only habitable planet, Locke is Idris's beating heart. Besides being a business-friendly location, word has spread among outdoor enthusiasts about the picturesque Korsti Mountains in the north. A thriving tourism industry based in and around the city of Tanis is geared to those interested in taking in the sights, either on foot or by vehicle. The planet is also known for growing a distinct version of the Ungi Blanc grape varietal. The planet's soil composition accentuates the grape's acidity, making it ideal for cognac and brandy production. The Starlight Idris Cuvée has been voted the universe's best cognac on multiple occasions. The protoplanet Idris 5 originally contained a wealth of valuable minerals. The government and various companies systematically strip-mined it throughout the 26th and 27th century until its resources were significantly depleted. Today, the abandoned facilities there are best known for being sporadically occupied by criminals and squatters.
I'm a futuristic cyborg sent back in time for one purpose. Give me your boots, your jacket, and your nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Get NordVPN if you want to live on the internet. It's the only thing that will protect you against Skynet and my Terminator impression. It gives you greater accessibility, security, and privacy on the internet as well. You should use the links below. Every month, we have a ship giveaway. For July, we're giving away a Constellation Taurus. This workhorse allows you to do some solid cargo running, as well as some combat and room for a small crew. It's just a great all-round mission runner and awesome ship to experience Star Citizen with. This comes with access to the game and lifetime insurance as well. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during July. Each video is another chance to win. More details in the description below. please consider supporting the channel with the join button under my videos, or via Patreon, links below to all of that. It goes a long way in helping us to be able to make daily Star Citizen content and Zin's lore videos, all that sort of jazz. Thank you so much to all the glorious members that already do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can always help as well by sharing, liking, subscribing, and getting involved in the comments section. And thank you very much for those of you that watched to the end. It is appreciated.